Hello everyone. Ellen Woodbridge here, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. Welcome to the October Stamp Around the World video hop, and this month we are exploring insects. So Stampin' Up! Does have a few stamp sets and products with insects, so if you wanted to give this challenge a try, hopefully you've got something in your stash. So I have created this card featuring bees with the Fluffiest Friends stamp set. So this is a stamp set that is available on the online exclusives, so you won't find it in the catalogue. You can find it on my online store, and it also has a matching set of dies, which I have neglected to get out, but I cut out the branch and the beehive from those matching dies, and I added some clouds. Not sure if I'm going to use the clouds when I make the card with you. We shall see. But I got the sentiment and the clouds from the Playing in the Rain set. Now, I have used a fair few colours. So the ink colours I am using Balmy Blue, Daffodil Delight, Old Olive. Okay, and I'm adding in some Petunia Pop in the Flowers with blends, and I'm using both Memento and Stays On inks for different reasonings, and we're going to be using some blending brushes as well. So let's get into making the card. I've actually only really used stamp ink and paper. Of course, I've used a couple of dies, but I did have those dies pre-cut in my Use It Up box. So I actually haven't cut anything special for today's card. I've been able to use some things from my stash. So the first thing I'm going to start with is a piece of basic white cardstock, and I'm going to start with my greenery, which is Old Olive, and I have a dark green dedicated blending brush. Now, I have my Stampin' Up! Glass mat here, and I do love, in particular, blending on this glass mat. It just glides ever so beautifully. Now, when I made my original card here, I did actually blend on, I blended on a piece of paper. So it'll be very, very interesting to see the different effect I get. And I'm getting more ink down on this paper straight up. I actually don't want to go, I just maybe want to go titch darker in this corner, but I don't think I want to go too much darker. Maybe just a little bit in the middle. I'm going to leave it there. Now, in between each colour, I am going to close this, find my scissors. There's a little divot in the lid, and I use that to push it back when I can hold on to it tight enough. Push that back, saves me getting inky hands. And what I'm going to do is just take a regular spray bottle, just do a couple of sprays, and I just have a microfiber cloth, and I'm just going to pick up all that ink and clean and dry my glass mat. Now, I can see I've got a tinsy bit of ink just under my glass mat here, but that's totally fine. So now we're right to change colours. So I have my light blue blending brush. I do have a dark blue one. Bring in the balmy blue and do the sky. Now, I don't want the sky to be pristine and perfectly blue. In this card, I have made it mottled, and that kind of gives you the look of a cloudy day. So just where the clouds might be sitting in the sky, and you get lighter and darker blue. So I'm going to go in much lighter, so you can see already here, I already have this dark halo of blue, and you can see it's a bit mottled. So I'm just going to kind of go in with that and just go in with darker and lighter areas. So I'm not really particularly worried. I maybe do want, just picking it up off the glass mat here, probably do want a little bit of blue there, and just picking up and going very, very lightly over the whole area, just to keep some of those darker areas. So that I've gone a little bit more heavy-handed, but I can kind of pounce in those areas. Now, it doesn't look great at the moment. It's not my best sky background, but I'm going to be putting the bees and hopefully some clouds over there. So let's close this. Now, if you are looking for a way to remove excess ink from your blending brushes, I've kind of got two suggestions just while I clean up this. One is rubbing. I personally don't recommend wet cleaning them because they take an age to dry. So what I do is I take a dry part of my cloth and give them a really good rub, and that will remove excess ink. It'll make them all fluffy again, so you can tell there's no ink in there because it's really fluffy. And then I'm ready to go with my next ink. And what I'll do, I'll show you here on a white part that there is no ink left on that. It's just that the white brush is stained blue. Okay, so we are all dry there. Or you can also brush these onto a roller paper towel. So I just want to do the base of my my stamping, which is my flowers here, because these need flowers. So I thought they were kind of an integral part of the scene that I'm building here. So let's open up my Memento ink, and I kind of just did clusters. This was very haphazard, and it just kind of worked out how it worked out. So I just want to coat this with some ink. Just make sure I've got a good coating there, which I do. So I do like a bit of stamping off first. So I kind of want some to bleed off the page. I don't want them all in the same spot. Oh, that's not the best stamping. Let's just leave it on here a little bit longer than I need. I'm quite happy with that because my Oh Happy Day should fit right in there. Perfect. So that was very good eyeballing. I just might put my Oh Happy Day in there right now, just while I've got the spot. Now, for my sentiments, because I'm not colouring it in with Stays On, because I'm not colouring it in with my Stampin' blends, which is exactly why I'm using my Stays On ink. oh sorry, my Memento ink rather. Deep breath, Ellen. Memento ink is for using Stampin' blends. StazOn is for watercolouring, but I find I just get a bit of a crisper image with my StazOn ink. So I haven't cleaned this from making my original card, and I do just want to do a bit of test stamping with this because I'm freehanding it, and I just want to make sure I've got light printed lines under this. Great. So the way this stamp is, I do want the AY a little bit off center, just like that. Is that the perfect stamping? No. Am I happy with it? It will do perfectly well for what we are doing. So next, I think we might as well just colour in these daisies with Petunia Pop. So I've got my light and my dark here. I'm not really sure I needed my dark when I did this, so I think I'm just going to go in with one colour and then colour the centres. So this is light Petunia Pop, and literally what I am doing here is just dabbing this. So that's what I find best, especially for smaller images, because I can always go in with the second dab. And these are not perfect flowers, so I'm happy if we go a little bit out of the lines, but I do want to try and preserve the middle for our Daffodil Delight Center. And then I've got Old Olive for our leaves, and because we've already used Old Olive for our blending, I think I'm going to go in with dark Old Olive just to make the leaves stand out a little more. I did use light Old Olive on my first card, and I think I really would prefer the dark. So using a few, missed one, using a few different colouring techniques here, but I think it makes a really cute scene card. So Petunia Pop Light, and we're going in the flower centres with Daffodil Delight Dark. So literally a pounce. So just light little pounce. Oh, this one here's just Petunia Pop all over. These ones here are a little lighter. They're in the background because they're a little lighter. And do I have my dark Old Olive, or no? I'll grab my dark Old Olive and we'll give that a go for our leaves. Right. So once again, just a bit of a pounce. Nothing crazy. This is very juicy. Wow. Very, very juicy marker. I think I need to pop this on the correct angle of the leaves because I'm kind of using it as a stamp. So there's definitely a difference between the light and the dark. This one is super juicy, but that's okay. So you can see here, very, very simple colouring in, because these aren't the star of the show. These are definitely the supporting act to what our bees need. And just one more, I think. Did I miss any? No, I got them all. Awesome. So we've created our foreground. Now I want to create our background. So I'm going to start with our branch and our hive. So these are die cut with the Fluffiest Friends dies. Okay, so you can buy them separately or buy them as a bundle. Now, where did I put that? Now, I'm going to give some definition. So this is what gets die cut, and I'm going to add some definition to this with the blends, and same with this pecan pie branch. I did just add some Stampin' blends to add some shadowing, give it a little bit of dimension. So I'm just going to go in and do the branch first. So I'm taking the bullet end and I'm just adding some shadow to the bottom edge of all the sides of the branch. Does it need to be perfect? No. May it look like bark? Yeah, maybe. So if we go a bit askew, that just looks like it may be a piece of bark sticking up, but we've given it some definition. So I just want to go to the very end there. Perfect. That's that one done. So that was, Pebbled Path, not pecan pie. Please excuse me there. So that's that. And for this one, I am going to go in. So this is, I think this is Daffodil Delight, but I'm going to go in with my Daffodil Delight Dark blend and just take a deep breath, try to get a steady hand. Haven't got steady hand, but we're just going to go along these lines and colour in the hole. I will add something a little bit extra to the bees and the hole at the end, which will hopefully make this hive look a bit glimmery. And one more. Now, this is a little flat at the moment, so I want to take my Daffodil Delight ink pad and these small blending brushes and just give this a little bit of colour on one side. So just to make it look a little bit 3D. So doing the same thing I did before, pouncing off. And trying to hold it and just, it wants to run away on me. And just colour or add extra dimension to one side of the hive. That's all I want to do. Okay, so now we're going to glue those pieces to the card and finish off, stamp our bees, because they're the star of the show, but they are pretty much almost the final act, because I just want to get the hive down first and then add the bees down where it is logical. Okay, so to help me get glue on this very, very fine branch, I have a pair of reverse tweezers. Now, our embossing additions kit does come with a pair of reverse tweezers. I've got shaky hands today, guys. Just want to get this teeny branch right there. There we go. Bring in my wet glue. Hopefully get some teeny tiny dots onto here. I think I just have, right, that looks nice and clear. So I've got this. All I have to worry about. Okay, perfect. Just some small dots, even smaller if I can, just to fix this into place. There we go. Sorry, I'm very much concentrating here. Okay, right. So I want to put this somewhere closer to the top because this hive is fairly large. So the hive and the bees are the star of the show. So that's perfect. And I want the hive to hang from this little branch here. So really there is not much dimension to this card, but we are going to pop this hive right here, wiggle it into place and pop it there. Quite happy with that. So this is where we are at so far. Okay, so you can see those clouds in the background are a lot, or the mottled sky is a lot less jarring. No, I still do need that glue. So I'm going to open my Memento ink pad again, and I have popped our bees onto here. So I've got some bees going left, right, and down. Okay, so let me bring in this scrap paper again that I keep on losing because I just keep on throwing it off to the side. Who's with me with that? Okay, so they are stamping beautifully. Just need to slow down and take my time. So I do want some close to the hive and up in here as well. And then up here, well, we have some very faint ones there, but that's fine. And so all around the hive, we have some friends. And then I like the look of just having a couple over here. Now this is where we could add some clouds. So we kind of have a nice little spot here for some clouds, or right in here. Thinking maybe right in here for some clouds. Okay, so I'm going to bring back in my Balmy Blue ink, but what I think I might do this time is stamp off my Balmy Blue clouds. So these are from the Playing in the Rain set. Stamping onto a card and an ink pad is not ideal. Okay, so, and there is not ideal either. So pop those in there. So as you can see, that's a little bit more subtle. And just pop one here off to the side, and then wouldn't mind just one up there, and possibly let's see how we go with nice. I do like that a little bit more than the full on Balmy Blue. So stamped off is just a little bit lighter, but I might pop some more bees down here actually. So I won't use the Balmy Blue. I'll just pop that off to the side. I'll bring back in the Memento ink, and I will add in a few bees just down there. Oh, that's perfect. Lovely. So you can see I did just add some colour to the bees, just to their bodies. I'm going to bring back in that Daffodil Delight blend. So I'm going to use not the brush end, I think I'm going to use the bullet end, just to give me a little bit more precision. And I'm just going to colour in the bodies. So I am going to add something a little bit special to the wings. Now I'm not too worried about these very faint bees. They're just going to be way in the background, because not every card is perfect. So once again, not too shabby with our colouring. So that is my card front essentially done, besides my last couple of finishing touches. So what I have done for my card background, I've brought in that pebbled path, and I do have a card base here that is pre-scored, because this is actually really quite busy. So I just wanted something, sorry, grabbing my bone folder here. I wanted something nice and neutral and would make this card front really, really pop. So let's just pop some dots of glue. So it may look like I'm using a lot of glue. I'm actually not. And I find the dots are just enough to give me wiggle time to get this into the right place where I might like it to go. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, so now for my finishing touches. I am going to grab my Wink of Stella. Now this is really, really hard to show up in videos, and I'm using it in such a little amount that it's also really, really hard to photograph. But in real life, you will just get little shimmery bits. So I want to do the whole of the hive, so it looks like there's some shimmering honey. And I'm just going to dot their wings so they look a little bit translucent, and the sun just catches them. But just doing dabs there on their fluttering wings. I thought this was a great representation for our insect theme. Now please make sure you go and visit the other participants that are taking part in this video hop. Now the other last finishing touch I grabbed was, and do you know what? Maybe these ones aren't the ones I should grab. I am going to change my mind and use, these are the gold textured adhesive back dots. I think these will look like drops of honey. So let's grab these out, and then you can tell me in the comments which you prefer. I just had an epiphany while I was going here. So if I just put 3 little bits, sorry, if I just put one here and one just up there, and maybe one just on the other side, and just one there. So they're bringing your eye to there, and so you've got the hive, the honey drops, and the sentiment. I think that, I think I like these ones better. So the other ones I did use were the Cherry Cobbler and Pearl adhesive back berries. So they just have a bit of a pearl finish to them. I think they're nice, but I think the gold textured ones just really give the honey look we're after, that it's just drizzling to the ground off the beehive. So I would love you to tag me on Instagram if you do make an insect card. I would love to see what you do, and please tell me which card or which final embellishment you prefer. So have a look at everyone else's blog videos. I can't wait to see what they all create. And thank you for joining me today. And I will see you next month for our next Stampin' Around the World video hop. Thanks, guys. Bye.